I do this is to show you that a lot of these dogs, Berners were formed basically from mutts in Switzerland. And that's what we did in the US as well. So it is probably pretty true that we would have some dogs that look a little bit like Berners. Let's see. Here we have some dogs that look like Berners. We have one in the middle. This is actually a Civil War photo. And we have a really scary looking dog on the left here. Here we have another one. You guys have probably seen this photo as I published it in the Outdoor Morning several times. On the left we have a dog that won't stay still in his photo. And here we have another one. The one to the left is actually from the Americans, from a book of dogs that was published in the UK in the 30s. It's about 4 inches thick. It's an extremely heavy book and hard to find, but that was an article that was written about Berners. And then we have 2 more dogs. And let's see. Oh, let's go back. This is another one of my favorites. I love this. The 2 big old cars and then the dog pulling the cart with a little boy in it. It's kind of cute. This is Arthur Small and his dog, Chip, in Poland, Maine, I'm sorry, in 1912. Here we have a few more kids with dogs. And we have even more. Let's see. We have more. Notice the ears on this dog. You know, you may not think that looks like a Berner, but I have a Berner at home with those ears. I do. We're seeing more of them cropping up in the breed. Here we have the same little boy with the dog 2 different times. And this is another one of my favorites. We have a giant cow with a dog that looks like it could be a Berner. And a girl on the farm just milking the dog. And here we have more dogs. The one on the left I'm probably going to remove when I do this next year because he doesn't look that much like a Berner. Here we have more, and this is where I say, you know, we find some hunting stuff. This is 2 different boys, but here we have a hanging deer and a guy with his faithful dog that looks like it could be a Berner. In the Victorian era, it was very popular to collect scraps and put them in scrapbooks, so the art of scrapbooking is not a new thing. And we do have a lot of scraps from the Victorian era that look like they could be related to Berners. And keep in mind, this was going on during the great St. Bernard epidemic, so it could be, you know, these were some of the popular dogs at the time being imported to the U.S. And we have a few more probably on the next page. Even a dog carting with children. And we have some advertising cards. On the back of this card, it says that this dog is actually a noof at the time. The reason I include it in the presentation is to show you that the noofs and the Berners at this time period look very similar. The dog right here, I think I may have shown you a Victorian scrapbook in a slide or 2 earlier. Let's see, did I?
The dog that's on the left, I have that in an antique glass bottle that was selling at vegetable oil.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
I actually bid on one of those bottles on eBay once, and the person never sent it to me. So.
Well, I like that, and that's the exact picture.
Yeah, I have the original advertisement for it, but this is another advertisement. And you may recall a few years ago in the Helifond auction, there was a painting of this that Alexis Smith won. It was an antique painting, and since then, to be honest with you, I've seen several antique paintings of this exact image. It was a very popular image in the 1880s, and I actually have a painting of it as well. But I believe it was used for art instruction at the time, and that's why we have so many of them lying around. Here we have some more postcards. Clearly we have a dog that looks like it could be a Berner, could be a noof. And let's see. We have some other foreign cards. There was actually an entire series that came out based on these dogs and children. And I have pretty much the whole series. Here's more from them. Incidentally, we'll probably see one of these on the cover of the BernerUBMDHistory-Part annual next year. And here we have more. I'll get out of your way so you can see more. And just real quick, how many of you receive the BernerGuard annual each year? Oh, I want to see more hands than that. The BernerGuard annual is a publication put out by the BernerGuard Foundation that actually, we talk about health in it. We also use it as a ways and means catalog. But one of the traditions that I've started is, I'm also a graphic designer and marketing person, is putting an antique photo of a historic Bernese Mountain Dog, or a dog that looks like a Berner, on the cover. Just one for art interest, but also to show you that the BernerGuard Foundation is trying to connect and link the past with the future of the breed as well. So you'll start to see there are a lot of historic photos of Berners in the BernerGuard database. This is a French postcard. It's actually one of my favorites. And you can clearly see the cheeks above the eyes and the shading here. Incidentally, I have another postcard that is from the same collection that looks like the same dog, and for some reason it doesn't have the shading in it. So I don't include it, but you have that. This is a German postcard from a dog that looks like it could be related to a Berner. Here we have another German postcard, and this one's a Rottweiler, and we have in the little teacup a dog that looks like it could be related to a Berner. Now the reason I put this in here is because this little dog in the cup has actually popped up in several postcards that I have in my collection, but he's always with different dogs. It's really strange. So I think we just added this card for fun. This is from the War Illustrated on May 17, 1940, and this is above a French warship. But it shows these dogs that look clearly like Bernese Mountain Dogs assisting in the war effort. And as I had talked to you earlier a little bit about the World War I dogs that pulled artillery and stuff, we do believe that Berners also assisted in a World War II war effort. Here we have some English postcards that are kind of funny. The one's called the toilet, the other one's called the fiddler. And it may be funny to you that it sounds like the toilet, but that was also, the name for the bathroom where you went to do your hair and stuff like that. And as you can tell, this little girl, she'll be using the toilet herself. So we have that. And that is our presentation. Anyone have any questions or comments? Yeah.
When you do your research, when you come across the postcard and the picture, you know that lots of stuff that your grandparents have, parents have old photos. That's got to be all time consuming.
It's time consuming and it's a